All right, so for today, what we're going to be trying out is the blue-red affinity list that's been going around. I've always been a big fan of the robots, and we tried it when it first relaunched in Modern Horizons 2, and it was all right. It's not the best artifact deck in the format, but it's still a good one and fun. The idea is you play down a bunch of things like Ornithopters and Memnites, and then you drop either Cranial Plating or Frogmite or Sojourners, Mirror Enforcers, or Thought Monitors, and you basically try to gum up the board with as many creatures as possible and swing for a lot of damage real quick. You get to help accomplish that with the use of Urza's sagas, making those construct tokens, which will be massive when you're running a lot of artifacts. And to help with that, we've got a bunch of artifact lands with the Darksteel Citadels and the Silver Bluff Bridges. And then what we got in Avengers of Forgotten Realm is Treasure Vault, which has forced us to be more colorless than we were previously. And then you've got the Singleton Island, so that way you're not completely cut off of colors. And then you have things like Spire Industries to help if you need more than just red or blue, aka the black needed for 2 instant equip Cranial Plating. As far as what the sideboard's got going on with it, is it's running a Gigantha. We'll see how relevant this card is. I don't ever see Affinity getting to the 5 mana to cast the card, but it's not bad from the aspect of it's a 5/5 for 5. If we can get to the 5 mana, it's not terrible. Etch Champion, kind of really only needed in removal heavy metas. I don't necessarily think that's where we want to be right now, especially considering how the whole protection from colors about a lot of the decks are running Urza's Saga, meaning that they're going to have a colorless creature to be able to block it. So it's not in its strong suit right now. You've got Relic of Progenitus here because 1 mana artifact and deals with the graveyard. Killing Needle, again, 1 mana artifact here, suitable with Urza's Saga. Great way to answer everything. Then 2 Wear Tear. Why? Because occasionally you need to destroy an artifact. Mainly you need to be able to destroy enchantments such as Stony Silence. That card absolutely destroys Affinity. And we'll see it in action, maybe. A lot of decks aren't actually running Stony Silence right now, so it's not that great. But hey. 2 Experimental Frenzies, so that way when we get into top deck mode, we then just get to churn through our deck instead of worrying about what's on our, or what's we can hit. And then 4 Stubborn Denial, so that way we have some form of counter magic. With that being said, let's take this into a league and see how we can do with it. Well, we didn't get the die roll. Opponent reveals Lurrus, we reveal Gigantha. Hand's got a lot of Signal Fest, which means we could do a lot, and it also means we could be doing nothing. So we're going to mulligan. This is much better to keep. We will keep and bottom... Well, bottom the Spire Industry here. Not great, because it takes away our colored source, but we do have the Springleaf Drum to help fix that problem. Just got off work and unwinding. So the started. Yeah. All right. So Temple Garden into Sentinel. Sojourner's not bad there. We don't have a way to pay for that. So this is 6, meaning we have to pay 2. I hope that we can hit a Thought Monitor. Inquisition, sure. You get the Inquisition. You see that we've got a land and a 4/4. And then they play out another Sentinel. I guess our main problem here is going to be that we only have this companion. We don't exactly have any other threat. We draw the bridge. So we'll do this. We'll pay the 1. Then we will pass the turn. Nothing we can really do here. But we're facing Abzan Luris, huh? Well, there's their saga. That's not good for us. And a Shadow Spear. But, okay, you're gonna equip. Okay, you have a 2/2. This upkeep, we draw a drum. Let's go ahead and put Gigantha into hand here. We're gonna pass. We could hit in for 4, but I'm pretty sure they would just take it. Pretty sure this is just going to be we both stare at each other until one of us goes. Galv Blast, huh? Okay. This we will pay for 1. We will not pay the 2. They're going to make a saga. That's fine. They have a 4/4. I'm going to blast their 4/4. They're going to fetch. Okay, we get the drum. And we'll have the Gigantha next turn. So let's go ahead and swing with the Sojourner. Yeah, like I said, they're just going to take it. So we've got enough mana to play the Gigantha next turn. They can make a token here if they don't need to do anything else with their 5 mana. Looks like they're okay with a 5/5 here. If they run Pithing, well, no, Pithing Needle doesn't stop this. This is a mana ability. I guess they could stop our Welding Jar. Guess they could name Saga. Okay, yeah. They named the Izzet Saga. Sorry. They're the only one with a construct. And then they drop down a Dothy, huh? Okay. I'm going to take 2 here. Upkeep, we draw land. Not terrible. Red, 1/1. This. Need to pay 1. We'll do it like that. Pass the turn. No need to swing with our 4/4 into their 5/5. Bobble grows it to a 6/6. And another Dothy. Well, we're moving the Shadow Spear over. Sounds good. swings with... So shadow, I forget. Can only be blocked by creatures with shadow. So they've got us on a pretty tight clock with that. We need to block there. They take the 5/5 with a Dothy. They go to 21. Yeah. They want to see what we're drawing here. That's fine. I know I'm a nerd. That's why I play Magic. Anyway, how you doing, Wheels? Spire Bluff Ridge. Okay. Now we're flooding out pretty hard here. They already know that we're drawing that. If I swing with the Sojourner, they just chump block with Sentinels. Buy themselves time. They just take... Well, I guess, yeah, they take 4 because they can equip Shadow Spear to Dothy. And it's a net neutral. And they get to hit us for 7 a turn. Pending? Sure. Pending's exile, so it doesn't matter. Why wouldn't you equip that to a Dothy? And just swing with your Dothies. Swings out. We're going to block the Sentinel. Take 8, going to 7. Which I know is lethal. But if we take 7, go to 8, I still have a feeling that they have it. We need not that. All right. So, like I said, we need more gas. As far as what we're afraid of from a Luris Jund pile. Wear Tear is interesting. I want the Frenzies here. Just so that way we can churn through the deck. Welding Jar is fine. We can shave a Ginger Root, shave a Pest. Pest is great if we can land it, but actually shave a Memnite over a Pest. And then got a Frogmite and an Enforcer here, bring in Wear Tear. I guess we could bring in a Needle. But I don't think there's anything that we want to Needle in Luris Jund. I guess Dothy. We'll see how relevant that is. I'd imagine that they take Dothy out. Because we're not really a graveyard style deck. The Minecraft Snappy Shot. So 3 artifacts, turn 1. Doesn't do enough. Mulligan. Have to go to 5. Okay. Keep this bottom Frogmite and Frenzy here. So that way we have turn 1 Ornithopter, turn 2 Plating. And then we get to start making dudes. Yeah, Saga's not terrible, but I feel Saga is a better card for us than it is for them. So while it's not a terrible card to grab, I'd rather, if we get into a Saga fight, I'd rather us have our Sagas than, or both have access to Sagas because ours make bigger tokens. Memnite, huh? Saga, do this. Plating, play out a Memnite. Not enough free artifacts for the oven. So they fetch here. Get a Godless Shrine. Shock in. What are we doing? Abrupt Decay? Voice. Okay. Drum. Okay. So drum's interesting. We played drum. Equip plating. Miss out on the saga token. Or no, we just saga token this turn. And next turn we just float mana. Well, we see what we draw, right? EE on 0. Sure. Yeah, they get in for 2. We go ahead and block because that EE is getting popped. Because I already know you're not going to let me hit you in the face with a saga token. Upkeep, we draw a Galv Blast. That's pretty good. We're going to float 1 here. And go searching. And so we don't have a threat currently. So let's get a threat of our own here. Sadly, we took out the Ginger Brute. Meaning our only option is Signal Pest. Then we can Springleaf Drum here. I mean, we've got the mana. We'll force the issue. Yeah, I know you're going to blow up the EE. That was a given. Now I have a 5/1. And they go down to 16. Prismatic Ending. Yep. So we take 2 here. And now we have to try to draw out. Well, this is awkward. Because it basically is make red mana to be able to deal with this Voice of Resurgence. They get a 1/1. Now we're stuck. There's their saga. I would have taken that out. But you do you, opponent. So we take 3 here. But we need not that. Citadel will put Gigantha to hand. Got nothing better to do with the mana. Meanwhile, they're going to get a saga token here. And smack us. Okay, they've got double saga. I don't really think we were ever going to have an out to this because they put Luris to hand and they can infinitely recur that engineered explosives. Welding jar's fun. Doesn't do anything there. All right. I would love to play. Reveal the Gigantha. Nope. Okay. Not the fastest start in the world from us, but not awful. Keep 6. Bottom Pest. No, bottom the Spire. Upkeep. We play out this Sliver Bluff or Silver Bluff, whatever. We do that, and then we go Welding Jar, Treasure Vault, Plating. Darcy. So their name is MTG Modern Brews, but it looks like they're playing Jeskai Phoenix. We'll see if they're actually brews of some kind. Or if their name is a lie, just like the cake. That'll happen. Welcome to Magic. Galvanic Blast, huh? Well, that changes our turn. Just because I really don't like Dragon Rage Channeler. Because now we can go Saga, Plating, Swing. Unless they have Counterspell. Prius is you, Cake is lie, Affinity is win. But who is Baba? If I'm you. Alright, well, they bolt the Plating. Or the Pest. I could have saved it with the Welding Jar. I'm just not used to playing cards anymore. Not every level has a Baba. But then Baba is a lie. So now if they try to bolt again, we're going to regen the Pest. I'm assuming this is Mending. Ah, they're going to Prismatic Ending the Plating. Fair. All right. Cast the Ornithopter, pass the turn. No need to swing with the 0-1 because it's an 0-1. They fetch. They've got a lot of mana. Monkey. Monkey's good. I dislike that they have 3 mana available to them and they're not doing anything with 3 cards in hand. Keep, we draw a bridge. Okay. We're going to make another token. Do this. Pick up Shadow Spear. Play that into play tapped. Combat. Turn them sideways. Battle Cry. I'm assuming Monkey blocks the 10-9 unless they have a way to remove it. All right. So it looks to be some form of Jeskai. Might be Jeskai control. I don't know. The question is, what are we afraid of? Relics are tempting. So is Frenzy. This is probably a matchup where if it goes on, we want the Frenzies. Blast deals with early Ragavans and Dragon Rage. I'm assuming their removals... well, they've got bolts, so they probably have bolts and heats, so Jar's not terrible. I think we cut an Enforcer and a Frogmite. And is there any card we want to name with Needle? No. Yeah, this is either a Jeskai Brew or it's some form of like Jeskai Phoenix. Oh no, it's not Jeskai Phoenix. It's basically blue-red with splashing white for prismatic ending, probably. I think that's really it. Like, we didn't see a lot of control magic from them. I don't want to bring in the Wear Tears preemptively expecting something. It's possible, but doesn't mean that it's likely. So, hand does nothing. Turn 1, 2 artifacts. Nope. Okay. We're keeping this, keeping 5. Bottoming Blast for sure. And probably a Memnite. Because we can artifact land cycle. Worst case, best case, we have a Sojourners. Or we just bottom the Sojourners here. No, let's bottom a land. No. Bottom like that. And this way we have turn 2, swing for 4. Basically always. We're swinging for 4 until they have an answer. Thought Monitor's a real good pickup for us. If we can get out enough artifacts. I'm assuming the Signal Pest probably eats a prismatic ending if they've got it. Scalding Tarn. This is probably fetch. Go get red mana. Yep. So we have 3 artifacts, meaning this costs blue and 3. We have blue and 1 currently. Drop out the Saga here. Combat, swing for 2. And they fetch. Basic Island. Thought Scours themselves. Hits a heat in a canal. So yeah, this looks to just be basically blue-red Murktide splashing white for prismatic ending. Thought Scours themselves. Hits canal and bolt. And a delta here. They get okay, so they didn't get basic, meaning that they aren't running Blood Moon. Double blue means this is a Murktide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's an 8/8 Murktide. That's scary. Problem is, we can race that. This, that. This would be everything. I'd rather not. Rather make the token. Hmm. Red bolts are flyer. Sure. Again, I win this race, opponent. You do not try to race. Unless you have a way to deal with the saga token. They've got 2 in hand. Because this will be make a token, go get our... Especially with that draw. Go get a Springleaf Drum. This drum jar. Tap this for blue. Thought monitor. Draw some cards. Cast for free. Combat smack you for 11. You go to 2. You need a board wipe that makes it so I can't regenerate a creature. Yep. All right. So we block with the thought monitor there. If they swing, they probably don't because they need some way to deal with these 9/9s. Again, yeah, an 8/8's a powerful card. Affinity can outrace an 8/8. As you saw, we went from a board of nothing to a board that had 2 9/9s on it in a single turn. So that's the power of Affinity. But let's see what we're gonna. Ooh, we won the die roll. We're facing second Siege Rhino. Turn 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 artifacts. I think we keep. This silver bluff makes this a bit awkward from the aspect of it enters tapped. I can totally respond in Discord. Your Discord message was nothing to do with me streaming. All right, upkeep. We draw. No, we don't draw. So Treasure Vault plus Drum gives us 4, 5, 6, 7. Meanwhile, the other way is still the same net outcome. Yay for no decisions. Arguably, we could have just played the land and passed. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's annoying that they make it so that way you try to only get, if you upload multiple videos at the same time, they try to make it so it's one download or one upload stream. Whereas if you do upload, it gives you way too many. So a Vile deck, huh? Okay. A bit concerned, but I kind of figured you knew that one. A Mere Enforcer, huh? So 4 load balancing. Yeah. 5, 6, 7. We can drop the companion here. And this will cost 1, sadly. So he can't do much other than get in for one. Show me a 0 mana Aether Vial card here, opponent. So this is totally going to be plating, cast Enforcer for free. Oh, this is humans? Okay, well. Now I'm no longer afraid. The Thought Monitor. Is it? It's better to get down this plating. This cast. You tap for white. Whip to the Ornithopter. Combat swing for 12. There's Affinity. Turn 3, 12 ya? Sure, vial something in. You got a hierarch. What, we gonna be looking at Mantis Rider plus something? Mantis Rider plus Lieutenant. There's the Rider. So they have a 3/3. And then they just swing for 4 in the air. Well, opponent. Okay. Let's lead off on the Thought Monitor here. Draw some cards. That's not good for them. They looked up to 6. Because they kind of got a block. Yep. Hierarch Trump. And then you're just going to take 4. Okay. They take 4. Go to 2. Damage happens. Signal Pest, Frogmite. Equip. Okay. Yeah, they conceded. Doing them dirty. I mean, kind of just force the issues. Do this. Equip the Signal Pest. Oh, probably equip to the Thought Monitor and pass. So we have a way to block in the air. So, like, Needle to name Vial. Other than that, I'm pretty sure we just have a great matchup against them. They don't really target, so Welding Jar is just a 0 mana artifact. Shave a Welding Jar. Can't really stub. Frenzy's tempting. Where's Torpor Orb? Not in the sideboard. We kind of need to be able to draw cards off of Thought Monitor. Edge Champion. It's tempting because they don't have a lot of colorless creatures. They're not a saga deck. So it just kind of has protection from everything. Yeah, I could see Etched over the other Welding. But no, because Etched costs 3 mana. Welding Jar is free. Welding Jar is another artifact to just help the Affinity cards. I could see possibly cutting down. No. Yes, I know there's always a cost to everything. I'm putting a card that is otherwise completely dead. It is a 0 mana Darksteel Ingot. Gingerbrute, great card to grab off of Saga. Huh. So turn 1 is 4 artifacts. Turn 2 is 5 artifacts, and we can play out this. I mean, you say that. Do they have a way to deal with a 5/5 lifelink trampler? The lifelink is the important part. Win on turn 7? I mean, that's quite possible. This hand doesn't do much. But it does have the turn 1 Shadow Spear into turn 2 Sojourners. I feel is probably enough. Especially when we draw this. This, cast. Tap, Shadow Spear, pass turn. And the Treasure Vault makes the companion cost 1 less. Meaning we can equip to the Memnite and swing for 2. An uncounterable champion. Sure. Another Treasure Vault, huh? Actually, we can't equip. I mean, we can, but we tap out to do it. So we don't. We're not going to swing in because I can guarantee you they have the Vial into Noble Hierarch. This way we'd be swinging a 1-1 into a 2-2. Yep. Okay, they're vialing in a 2-mana card, Thalia. That's a nice card to see after we've dumped our hand. Esper Sentinel. So they've got a 4-4. They can swing. They don't. Keep, we draw. We draw Spire Bluff. Tap. Equip. I'm not gonna... So the issue is we swing... But we swing because they can't... Best case is they trade their champion. If they don't do anything, we gain 5. And gaining 5 is plenty decent for us because we can chump block with the Memnite here on their 4-4. They have 2 left in hand. They redraw. Turn +3 to go. This, and they're vialing in a Mantis Rider. So they have a 6-6 and a Mantis. They're just going to swing with 5 in the air. So they're going to try to just keep their champion back as a blocker. Fair enough. This will put that into hand since we're going to flood out, apparently. We'll just take 3 for a bit. Yep. Never said who would win. That is true. I mean, 1 Galvanic Blast here, and we just hit their Mantis Rider, and they have a clock of their 6-6, which we, well, but they get to turn into an 8-8. But then we have Gigantha. Hey, they got a second spell. They do this just to grow. Makes sense. Now they have no cards in hand. Thought Monitor. That's not Thought Monitor. Spire. This. Gigantha. Play out the Signal Pest here. So they're on top deck mode. And they're probably just going to let that champion grow and try to keep killing us with the Mantis Rider here. Meaning we need, you know, card such as like cranial plating here would be absolutely nuts. Cranial plating. Stop. Deck. This signal pest. Pass. We can turn Treasure Vault from 1 artifact into 3. Okay, Violin, another rider. Files in a big boy, an 8/4. I mean, so if they swing out here, we obviously block. They just pass. I feel that is incorrect. Make X1, make X2, make X3. And just make some treasure tokens here. And draw dead. Cool. Well, we're not dead. Yeah, I'll pay 1. No, opponent doesn't get to draw a card. So they don't have... Apparently, opponent thinks Signal Pest has flying, is my guess. So 9/9/8/4. Whenever you attack for each opponent, create a 1/1 that's tapped and attacking. Okay. So their champions are going to grow massive. Another rider. So we're taking 6 in the air. And then we have to chump on the ground here. They're... It's still not over. And that's the sad part. Is that we're still somehow in this game. Yeah, this should be a attack all. That card does not have first strike. Because if I rip plating off the top here, I gain way too much life for you to deal with. And now I get to block for a turn. Like, I'm still in the plating wins me this game mode. And they're still not attacking with everything. I'm just as confused as you are. I'm just going to make treasure tokens here. Why are we seeing double-digit turns? We shouldn't be. That much is for certain. Woo! Draw dead for 8 turns. Blast. That would have been great to see. Saga would have been great to see. Wow. I mean, guess welding jars out. Champion blocks. But like, I feel this matchup isn't one for Frenzy. But at the same time, I feel Frenzy would be so great if we ever have to get to the point where we're landing Frenzy or casting Frenzy. Wear Tear, there's an argument for. Reason to not block with Companion on the 1/1 when it had lifelink. Because I wasn't thinking. I just thought 1/1 trade with 1/1. I didn't put thought into where I was blocking other than the 5/5 blocking the X4. And I didn't want to lose my Companion to the X4. I like Wear Tear here to hit the Vial. Do that and take out an Enforcer. Yeah, we're on Smooth Brain Sunday. This reveal the Gigantha. So it's awkward, but it's fast. Fun. I personally have not really seen it, and I don't care to, but I will say refrain from spoilers since it is relatively new, and this video will be going on YouTube. A champion? Well, darn. If I had let on Galv Blast instead. Pithing Needle. Offer the trade. You want to trade your 1/1 into my 2/1? You're going to take 3. They take the trade. I'm okay with that. Because this is still 4 a turn, and it's 4 a turn in the air. It was interesting and worth a watch. I kind of figured. Okay, so they play out the Sentinel, and then they pass. Well, Sentinel can't block any of these creatures. And we're just going to draw like hot gas, apparently. Is there a card with an activated ability besides Aether Vial that we're afraid of? No. We're still going to name Vial here. We're going to pay. This Aether Vi. I know leaving up Galv Blast here probably wouldn't be terrible. You're going to dismember? Dope. So I'm swinging for 1 a turn instead of 4 a turn. +2 mace. If only. So opponent took 4 to reduce their clock by quite a bit. I'm assuming this is probably a Mantis Rider, which we're going to just Galv Blast away. Oh, Freebooter. Okay, Freeboot takes a Galv Blast and cries as they see 2 Galv Blasts in hand. They swing 1. Yeah, we take 1. Upkeep, we draw Treasure Vault. You blast it. Yes, pay. Get rid of their Freebooter, get in for 1. That's nice. They have a redraw if they so please. White. Dahlia's lieutenant. Sure, have a 1/1. Oh, Sentinel's a human? Human soldier. Hmm. Definitely see why it's in the humans deck then. Keep we draw an Ornithopter. That's a pretty good draw. So I don't want to hit their 2/2 yet. And I don't want to not hold up Galv Blast. Because if they have a lieutenant, or if they have a way to grow lieutenant here, which they do, they've got plenty of cards. Red, blue, white. This is a rider. No, it's Imperial Recruiter. Okay. Power 2 or less. Reveal it, put it into hand. What card do they go get? Noble Hierarch. Okay. And then they play out the Hierarch. Sure. Lieutenant grows. They've got 2 in hand. I'm assuming this is swing 5. 3 mana Galvanic Blast. Yes, pay the 2. There goes their lieutenant. We take 2. Go down to 15. We are swinging for 2 a turn as well. Signal Pest. These are the worst games I've seen for Affinity in a long time. But I think we're in a pretty good spot at this point. Phantasmal Image does Recruiter. Yeah. Neat. Power 2 or less. Freebooter? Deputy. Okay, so they deputy Pest? Yeah, makes sense. So now plating off the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plating would make 7, meaning 2-turn clock. Plating, Thought Monitor, not Frogmite. And we'll put Gigantha into hand. I don't ever think we're getting to the mana to cast it at this point. But we'll make a 5/5. I don't see why not. Human, red, white, 1. Recruiter number 3. Goes and gets Kataki. Yeah. So since we're gonna have to be sacking anyway, we do this so that way if we can draw the Galv Blast, we have an out. Yep. Okay, so Frogmite I would like to pay for. Pay 1 to prevent the Frogmite. Yes. Ornithopter, no. Treasure Vault. No. Pithing Needle, no. Where's my mana? Yeah, I was trying to prevent the bridge using the mana floating from the treasure vault. But apparently it's just going to eat my mana. Like, I tapped it for mana, did I not? Just straight up 8 mana. That's... I've never seen Moto do that. So we put all the triggered abilities onto the stack. And then it doesn't tell us if we paid for it or not. Because I should have been able to have 3 artifacts there. But we only had 2. Because I wanted to have it untapped. I would love to take the play. Reveal the Gigantha. Hand looks great, other than it seems to be missing stuff. It's tempting. We're gonna try it. Put back a plating here. Make sure we lead on not Urza's Saga. This pest. Memnite. Pass turn. Raging Ravine. Okay. You've piqued my interest, opponent. And a Ginger Brute. That makes me want to hold off on the Saga for a turn. Because I want to get this Brute down. And we're going to attack for 4. Battle Cry. Because this next turn we go Saga plus plating, equip plating to Signal Pest. And swing for a lot. Red, green. Ren and Stimpy. Sure. What you pinging? The Signal Pest? So that way I don't get the Battle Cry? How'd I know? Unfortunate. Upkeep. Draw. Still the Saga, because I want to be able to kill this Ren and 6. Plating. Plating's going to equip to the Memnite. Memnite at Ren and 6. Ginger Brute at them. And just so that way Ren and 6 is gone and away with. Blood Crypt. So it is Jund. And it's not Luris Jund, so it's Boomer Jund. What are we seeing? Pyromancer? Sure. Asmo and Vengevine. Those weren't cards I were expecting to see. Galv Blast. We're just gonna pass here. Make 8/8s or 7/7s. Cauldron? Sure. You're gonna try to cat oven me? Blood Moon. Well, that's a card. I will still indeed have a 7/7. Trip over here. Make it so Gingerbrute can't be blocked except by creatures with haste. And swing for 8. Good luck, opponent. You're at 5. If they take any damage, they lose. They need a creature with haste to be able to block this Gingerbrute. Any creature that has haste that they have to hold back to block, we kill with Galv Blast. Okay. So, Blood Moon main board is scary. Asmo Vengevine. Asmo Vengevine, Ren and 6. I have no idea what our opponent's trying to pull off here. Like, Champion seems tempting. I know Wear Tear is probably not terrible here. I feel that the Blood Moon's worse for them than it is for us. Well, yes, it means we can't make colors. We've got the island for the Thought Monitor. We've got Springleaf Drum. I like Needle to be able to name Renin 6 or Witch's Oven. So I like those 3. As far as what I don't like, Enforcer, a Frogmite, and a Memnite. They're done. They're going to have plenty of removal. Frenzy here is tempting, especially if they keep in Blood Moon. I think we can shave a Pest and shave a Frogmite. No, shave the other Enforcer. Get rid of our more top-heavy stuff. Reveal the Gigantha. So, turn 1, Pest. Turn 2, can't do anything? Mulligan. Okay. We can keep this and bottom Frenzy. We don't no. We'll bottom the Blast. Yep, there's the Familiar. So Citadel, Jar, Ornithopter, Frogmite. Their 1/1 ain't gonna attack in. We've got a bunch of X2s, but they played a basic Swamp. Blackcleave Cliffs. They've got red, black. They're gonna go just black, play out another Familiar. So definitely want to be able to name Witch's Oven here. Cranial Plating. Sure. Plating. Offer the trade. Like, these are sacrifice of food, return to the battlefield. Do this. Regenerate our artifact. Go 1/1. They lose their cats. They now have to discard. Red mana Shattering Sprees the artifact? Sure. And now they'll be able to forever block. Well, no, it's only once. Right? This is not a... Yeah, it's... You can return one. So they need a way to make more than one food a turn. Well, no, they just make one and jump every turn, right? So this is currently reducing by 5, so Thought Monitor is fine. Blood Moon here wouldn't be great. Okay, so they go Blood Ghast and return a cat. What? Okay. Interesting. I definitely would have gone return a cat there. They discard Blazing Root Walla, which means they'll have a 1/1. Okay. And then they shock that in, return Bloodghast, and let's see this Blood Moon. Do me dirty. Pyromancer. Okay. I'm okay with that. Yes, they have 2 cards in hand, but we're about to catch right up to that. You cast. Draw 2. Double plating is pretty nutso. Cranial plating. Equip over here. Combat, swing for 8. You got a flyer? No? Okay. You got a 10. Sure. Make yo cats. This is activate once a turn. So 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. Basically just need my Thought Monitor and Ornithopter to live. So I have the damage spread across 2 threats. They turn all of those sideways. With what you've got, we'll do here, forcing you to have to pay mana to trade. Else we take 4. Witch's Oven, sure. That tells me that you've got 1 card in hand. Frogmite. Cranial plating. Whip over here. Fun. So, John Doven. Because the reason you split the threats is so that way if they have the bolt, they get to bolt one of these, but not both. And then we are swinging for 11 and 9, respectively. They're going to bolt the Thought Monitor. They take 9. They go to 2. They gain 1 off the familiars. And then we have a massive Frogmite to block and a Ornithopter in the air that they still have to be able to deal with. All right. 2 and 2. Let's see how we can end this league. All right. Reveal this Gigantha. Aluris deck. So turn 1, we have 2 artifacts. Turn 2, we have out 4. We play Frogmite 5. We can Enforcer because we'll have enough mana. But then we're not doing anything. We'll try it. Or science. Let's see this Thoughtseize. No, Dragon Rage Channeler? Monkey. Darn. Maybe we'll rip Memnite off the top and we can blast this monkey. Hey, thank you very much for the subscription for 2 months, Ozzy. Appreciate it. Let's get this 3-2. I agree. However, we're taking 2 from a monkey here. Monkey smacks. Don't be a great card. Signal Pest. That's a pretty good card. So 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we'll have out. Okay. So we get to kill the monkey here. Ooh, Frogmite there makes this turn so much nicer. Frogmite. Frogmite. This Enforcer. Foothills. They fetch. Overgrown Tomb. Shocked in. So it's Jundlerus. Black and green. Goify boy. You got yourself a 1-2. You got yourself a 1-2. I don't like that you have a 1-2. Let's get rid of that. Let's smack 4 damage onto it. Okay, they read Unholy Heat. Puts artifact and creature into the bin. That grows it to a 4/5, doesn't it? Yep. Darn. I guess I'll just give you something that you really gotta block. Here's a 12/4. Have fun. Monkey gets in the way. They're willing to trade their Goyf, meaning that they have another Goyf. Unfortunate. Bobble second Goyf here. So the problem is the monkey knows, or they know what's on top of our deck, and they swung with monkey. Meaning they like the card. I don't like that they like the card. Yes, we now have no threat. We can put Giganta into hand. And they did indeed have the second Goyf. They get to draw, and then we get to see what they saw. They saw another Signal Pest. Understandable why they would want that card. This Tap to put Gigantha into hand and pass the turn. We'll take 4 for a turn here. Signal Pests cannot block Signal Pests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a... If we draw an artifact, 2-turn clock. They've got the Dashing Monkey. They've got us on a 3-turn clock. We've got them on a 2-turn clock. Oh, nope. I forgot about the battle cry from our own Signal Pest. Meaning 8, 8. It's still 3 from them. Okay. Island was exiled. So they need a way to deal with our Signal Pest here. Because any artifact that we get is just going to be chumping this Goy if it's a creature. If it's not a creature, then we get... I guess our one downside here would be Thought Monitor. Because we would have to tap the Signal Pest to be able to play the Thought Monitor. But doing so probably gets us Gigantha. Shadow Spear. Interesting. So we swing 8. They go down to 7. They've got the heat. Gonna add red to our mana pool. So we need, I guess, Companion off the top allows us to go Shadow Spear, equip Shadow Spear. Or allows us to go play the Companion, equip Shadow Spear, and equip Plating. They cannot swing. Unless they have a way to give their creatures first strike. So there's the Enforcer that we would have needed. Yeah. And then they have a Bolt. All right. Didn't matter anyway. So Jund Luris. They've got a good amount of removal. So Etch Champion, not a bad card. Welding Jar, not a bad card. Enforcer's decent. Frogmites, meh. Stub, we don't have anything that we can stub. Wear Tear, nothing to Wear Tear. Pithing Needle, maybe they run Renin 6, but they seem to be a more creature-centric build. Relics here aren't bad because of that pesky little card named Tarmogoyf. So we're going to cut some number of Signal Pest, probably just 2. Shave on a Memnite here. And then it's a Jund list, so I would really like to bring in Frenzy. Just so that way, if we get into that scenario again, where we need to just be in gas mode, do that and cut a Thought Monitor and an Enforcer. Yeah, this... yeah. This is probably a bit too overboarding for this matchup, but I want the Relics and I want the Etch Champions, and then Frenzy is always a great card to have in a matchup where if you get to top deck mode, Frenzy saves your life. Okay, so turn 1, nothing. But turn 2, we could have up Blast. Then we have a champion on turn 3. We'll keep it just because Champion's such a strong card. This tapped land, say go. If they don't do something that we need to get rid of, we just go Spire, Bluff, Pass. If this is Monkey or Channeler. And EE on 0. Sure. I mean, I can't blame them for bringing in Engineered Explosives. It's a pretty good card to just repeatedly put on 0. They put a Monkey into the bin. Good to note. Good to note. We're going to go ahead, especially with that draw, just blast away this Channeler and pass the turn. Because we're going to have a champion that they cannot touch if it resolves, and they're not a color that stops spells from resolving. So do they have the Thoughtseize or Inquisition? That's the question. Or is this just a Goyf? Just a Goyf. Sadly, we've got that Goyf blocked for days, opponent. Actually, it's a 3/4 right now. And they don't have mana to put an artifact into the bin. So let's do this. Turn on Metalcraft. And Galv Blast the Goyf. And then put out a Signal Pest and pass the turn. They do nothing? Okay. Blue 1/1. Drop out this champion. I have a 2/2 with protection from everything. Everything colored. They Tarfire our Signal Pest. You got it. The Signal Pest was dropped just for value. So this turn will be put... Yeah. This turn's going to be put Gigantha to hand. Play out Plating. Well, if they don't do anything... Cranial Plating. We'll go with the equip plan. Present a 2-turn clock. That opponent kind of has to blow up their EE to prevent. And it only hits the Ornithopter. So they need a way to deal with this cranial plating. Because they can't touch this champion. They shock it in. So they've got... Hey, let me attack. I mean, I'm assuming this is Kolaghan's command. Shatter Shock? Is that your game plan here? I've seen that card cast too many times against me. In my years of Affinity playing here. They're trying to hit the champion. You cannot do that, opponent. It has protection from colors. Ah, destroy and return. Okay. They go to 12. They cannot dash this monkey and blow up EE. So they can play out the monkey. And then now that they have the land, they can. So there's a dashed monkey. Monkey has haste. You blowing up your E on 0 right now to get in? Because I'll gladly block. I don't know what's on the top of my deck, but I've got 1 0 mana artifacts. Then you're playing a shadow? Dope. Monkey goes to hand. Dot monitor. That seems like a pretty good card. I'll pay 1 more mana for it, I guess, if we have to. We'll draw some cards. We drew some cards. More specifically, we drew bonkers cards. We're just going to put Gigantha into hand this turn. I need to get too fancy with it. And we're not going to swing here. We're just going to pass. They can grow their shadow to a reasonable size. If they want to. They fetch to grow the shadow. Do they shock to grow it even more is the question. They do. So they have a 4/4 shadow. Bobble. Sure. They want to bobble us. See if 3 mana right away put Lurrus into hand. Disagree with that call. Okay, and they're not swinging with the shadow. This we upkeep, we draw. Okay, they want to see what we're drawing. We hit an Ornithopter. Okay. Galv blast away this shadow. Cast the Ornithopter. And pass the turn. We pass here because I don't want to grow this shadow more than we have to. Because if they don't have anything here and they just kind of go Lurrus Shadow, we blast their Lurrus. And then they just have a 4/4. And we're at 20. They could now bring back Goyf instead. Both aren't bad cards. Black, and... oh, they can't do... because Lurrus costs double black. So they couldn't bring back the Shadow even if they wanted to. They do this. They go Lurrus, and then they bring back Goyf, I'm assuming? I mean, its champion just blocks Goyf for days. That's what it's good for. What it's always been good for. Is it's your glorious blocker until it's your finisher. Dragon Rage Channeler, huh? Let's get rid of that Lurrus. Chose to bring back a 3/3. 2 3/3s. Okay. Little scary. But we still got plenty of good top decks like that. Really don't care about this Gigantha right now. I would like to redraw and shrink your channelers in the process. Fun, fun. There we go. They've got one card in hand. We'll take them to 5. I mean, if they swing out, I mean, we block the monkey, right? Just don't let them get the token. We go to 18. Goif. Scourge. You got yourself a 2/2. Second Scourge. You got yourself some 2/2s. And you've got no cards in hand, so that is a game. Let's move on. Yep. All right. With everything that we brought in. Didn't see anything for Needle. Kind of wish this wasn't a package of 4 stub, but I understand why it is. I think Metallic Rebuke might be better in some number in this deck over some number of stub as far as counter magic's concerned. But I don't feel we need to bring in counter magic in this matchup anyway. What I'd really like would be something like Dispatch, but we don't have the mana base to do that anymore. It was back in my day when Affinity was super rainbow heavy. We'll keep. It's not phenomenal. But it's got the redraw and it's got a saga. I feel saga's probably enough to carry us to victory here against Jund. Thoughtseize. Well, there goes cranial plating. Or do they hate Relic of Progenitus that much? It should be plating, but we'll see. Okay, so that means that they have another discard spell in hand. A bit unfortunate. Can't really stop that, though. Hey. That's a card. So we'll have 4 artifacts turn 2. Meaning this costs blue and 2. We'll have blue and 1. Unfortunate. Upkeep, we draw a Shadow Spear. Cast the Jar. Cast the Ornithopter. And drop the Plater. Pass the turn. Sorry, next turn we have Thought Monitor plus fun stuff. Okay. They put it into play tapped. EE on 0. Sure. I'm gonna pop it now. Black, black. They fetch. Okay. Black. I'm assuming Death Shadow. And we trying to blow up EE? No. No EE explosion? Plating. See, so the problem with Saga here is it puts a trigger onto the stack. They can now blow up. They do not. So this is blue and 1. Let's try to get full greed mode here. Sweet. There we go. We draw some cards. Okay, those are indeed some cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess second main will equip the Ornithopter and pass turn. Holding up the regeneration shield. Black, black, blow it up on 0. Gonna regenerate a target artifact. You get to destroy each non-land permanent. Yeah, you got to tap down my Ornithopter. Neat. You're dead. And they're not dead. There are plenty of cards that we could draw that makes it so if they have removal, they win. However, if they do not, if this is just something like Scourge of the Skyclave, cool, you have a 3/3. You've got 2 cards in hand. Upkeep, we draw a Thought Monitor. So, as much as I would love to make a token, this is just going to be plating, equip, plating over here. And drop the Thought Monitor here. Try to draw ourselves an out. More specifically, a 0-man artifacts. That'll do it. So we've got 2 cards that are lethal. They need exactly Bolt and Push. Because these have flying. Scourge does not. I'm going to swing for 22. Terminate. Cool. You got 1. Ah, they now go to 1. Smart. I did not think about that part. That it does indeed shrink. They have a 12/12 and 2 cards in hand. If you think I'm not blocking this shadow, you are absolutely crazy. So shadow gets blocked. Double strike and trample, even with 4 in front of it, is still lethal. So yeah, we just jump with 2. And they concede. All right. There we go. 3 and 2 with blue-red Affinity. Deck feels sweet, feels very reminiscent of old school Affinity. I like it. The best part is I have all of these cards in paper already. I think I already know what I'm going to build next instead of focusing on Hammer. So I like it. Plating feels nice. Signal Pest. Didn't really get to shine in the spotlight too much, but other than that, yeah, it feels like traditional Affinity. I absolutely love it. Sideboard champions actually did come in handy there. Frenzy's great. I feel the Stubborn Denials might be a different counter suite than what it currently is. But other than that, feels great. So if you are a fan of old school robots and have been looking for your deck to come back into action, this is very, very, very close.